Welcome back to Indie Midwest Mama. I'm just over here in my garden harvesting cucumbers and trying to do a little bit of weeding. We've been gone for a couple weeks. We went on a family trip to California, which we take every year. And so it was a great time to be away and to reconnect with family. We live in the Midwest, Southeast Kansas, and it was quite a big trip to drive to California. We go up to Lake Tahoe and we spend a glorious week sitting on different beaches, swimming in that clear, cold, beautiful water that we appreciate and love so much. Both my husband and I, we grew up going there, so it's so nostalgic as well to be together with our kids and all the memories from when we were kids. It's really great. The other day I made a batch of chow chow, which was a new one for me, but I had seen that it's a great way to use up extra garden veggies, and my husband's aunt reminded me about that, so I think that's what I'm gonna do with those giant cucumbers. You can do it with anything. You can do green tomatoes like before the frost comes. If you don't want to waste those that didn't get ripe, you can do that. You can do cabbage, peppers, honestly anything. People were doing it with broccoli and cauliflower. So those giant cucumbers, they are going to be full of water. They're going to be getting mushy, and I think that's what I'm going to do again with that. And it's our recipe that I found is a mix of sweet, sour, and a touch spicy, which was great on a few things I've had it on already. I've had it on scrambled eggs. I had it in a burrito. So it would be great on sausage, stir fries. I can't think of anything it wouldn't be good on. So I'm going to do that with those really big, forgotten cucumbers. Here's one of the new mamas. These babies are a little over 2 weeks old now, and she hatched 3 out of her 6 eggs. So we were actually pretty surprised because we've been having some problems with our rooster. He actually has a hurt leg and hasn't been getting around a whole lot. So we were really surprised to hatch any babies, but these 2 mamas went broody right before we were about to leave for our trip. So we thought, let's just let her give it a try. So she's got these cute little 3. She's so protective, very, very much. She's watching out for our cat who thinks that she would like to have a little bird snack. Here's our second mama. We named her Oreo. She just hatched one baby. I gave her 2 eggs to sit on and only 1 hatched. So again, we've got about 50% hatch rate right now with our rooster, which is more than we expected. And we're not really anxious to get a whole lot more chickens. We have currently 11 hens and 1 rooster, and now 4 new babies. So odds are we're going to have at least 2 more roosters if it's 50% chance for each gender, but we will see. This was on the day that the white chicken hatched her babies. We were leaving about 2 days later for our trip out to California, so we were excited to at least see this one batch, and they're so cute. This is an ideal size, but check it out. What happens? How do these things get so big without anyone noticing? Trying to pick these cucumbers a lot earlier so that we don't have soggy pickles, which means I've got to get in here every day just to check on them. I already just saw one that got forgotten about. Look at that thing. It's just really big. Maybe we'll have to slice that up for eating right away. I got a cat that's eating. What is it? What? What is it? What are you doing to the chickens? Here is my cucumber haul. I'm going to stump it out, sort them. Oh my goodness. And figure out what we're going to do with all this. You want to sort them according to size. So these are lemon cucumbers. They are not at their peak harvest yet, but they're really fun in salads or just fresh. These are the pickling cucumbers. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to work on fermenting a batch of these, because I have made a lot of refrigerator pickles so far, but I haven't fermented any cucumbers yet. And that is something I want to try. Fermenting foods have a lot more health benefit than just pickled foods. There is the probiotic aspect, and so that's something that I could probably get this into 1 quart. I might save these for either fresh, or see if we can add to a batch for next time. I can save these in the fridge for another batch, but these are great. We're going to keep them whole. I think they're just going to be really yummy. They'll be crunchy because they're small. They don't have a lot of water content. You just want to rinse lightly because you want to preserve the bacteria that is on the cucumbers. It's helpful for the fermenting process. All right, I have rinsed off the cucumbers. Now I'm ready to start packing them into the jar. Try to get 1 quart for this first time. We'll see how they go and how they turn out. And we have made different fermented foods like yogurt, and then we've made kombucha, but we haven't really done a whole lot of other things. Well, this might be filling more than a jar, but we will save some for next time. Let's see, I got some of these really little guys. You don't want it to be going all the way over the top, because you want to be able to cover the liquid. Needs to be covering the food. That's one big rule with fermenting, because if you have food that's above the liquid, it can cause mold to happen. So maybe that's what we'll do. And then we're gonna add some black peppercorns. You can add lots of different kinds of spices. I'm gonna add some, I don't have a lot, but some little bit of mustard seeds. And then I have some celery seed. We'll just do a sprinkle of that. And then I have some garlic that I grew this spring, and I'm gonna add just 1 clove of that, because you don't want to go overboard with that. So garlic. And now we're gonna prep our pickling brine. All this is just 2 cups of water, and then I'm gonna add a heaping tablespoon of salt, and mix it in to the water. It's kind of hard to do the math, because lots of these you're starting with like a half a gallon of water. So I'm gonna go with a heaping tablespoon of, this is coarse sea salt, and just stir it up to dissolve that salt. So you don't feel the crunchiness anymore. A lot of people are getting into fermenting foods, although it's been a thing that our grandmothers did, but it had kind of lost popularity, but it's coming back. People are realizing they can do things naturally to take care of their gut health. They can save on buying all the expensive probiotics and just eat in a way that supports their gut and your overall health, your overall wellness, which I'm a big fan of. And if I can find a way to get my family to eat more fermented foods, I think that'll be a win-win with keeping overall healthy. We are into so many processed foods these days, and so many fast foods, convenience foods, that it's just taking a toll on our overall health. All right, let's see if we got about the right. Yeah, we did. what we need to do now is, lots of people weigh their foods down with a weight specifically for this purpose. I do not have a weight. I need to find something to do with that so that I can keep things from rising to the surface. You're gonna let this sit and ferment from 3 days to 7 days is what I'm reading. And you can start tasting them around 3 days and see what you think. And then the longer you let it go, the more strong the flavor. Also, the warmer your house is, the faster it'll happen. So we do run our AC in the summer, so our house probably sits at about 70, 75 maybe. So we'll see. Maybe this will be ready in about 3 days, but I'm going to go look for something to weigh this down, and we'll see what happens. Okay, I found something. It's just this little tiny jar right now, and I've just sat it on top here, and then you can see that the level of the water is kind of right where that peppercorn is floating, and the pickles are below. And so what will this do as well is it'll allow air bubbles to come up, because as this ferments, it's going to start producing some gas bubbles. So having it open, I might lay a tea towel over the top just to keep any random insects from landing in it, but I think this is going to work. So I'm just going to write the date right here and start checking it in 3 days, but I will let you guys know what I think.